Yep, that's right. Mario Kart World just got DLC and is awesome. It definitely brings a lot to the tables with this game because on launch we were definitely concerned about the safety of Mario Kart World. It's kind of like you're taking the train and you're wondering, is this going to derail at any time? Pretty much how we thought about Mario Kart World. But that analogy making no sense, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so Bomb Bomb Blast is here, and I definitely think that this is awesome. I really did enjoy Mario Kart World, but I definitely could admit that there's a lot of things that are missing. But seeing as the original Bomb Bomb Blast from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe actually is here, it's really cool. Now, we kind of knew about this for a long time now, thinking that this was going to be a full paid DLC that you had to spend another $40, which make this game $120, which is kind of crazy. But no, thank goodness that is not the thing. It turns out that this is a free DLC, which definitely adds a lot to the table. Bomb Bomb Blast being in Mario Kart World is kind of like a squishy sponge. You're pretty much taking the base game, sticking into Mario Kart World, and adding all the awesome gimmicks. Because now, if you see a bomb, you can either do a couple things. You can try to jump around it, you can try to do a whole U-turn real quickly, or you can go right into it. This is something that it definitely works really well with Mario Kart World's gimmicks. I honestly think that this is more agile, if you know what I mean. Kind of like you're playing tag. Instead of running straight and straight and straight, you can actually dodge and weave and do a whole bunch of things. Kind of like you're a ninja. Well, maybe. Nintendo ninjas? That could be it. But overall, it definitely adds so much, and I really do enjoy my time inside of this game. I decided to jump in this morning to test it out, and my goodness, it was fun. Now, sometimes there's definitely a lot of open spaces, like in Moo Moo Meadows. I was going around the map, around and around and around for the longest time, couldn't find a single person, until I did find a single person. But overall, that being said, it just works great. Now, is this Nintendo strategy for Mario Kart World? I was going to say Super Mario Kart. But overall, I think it honestly is. Because if you look at it, this game is now 10 months old, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. The game had a, well, sort of iffy launch. You might like it, you might hate it, and mostly has a mixed relationship online. But now, Nintendo could be showing that, you know what? Instead of making you pay, we're gonna give you free updates. And more free updates could come, like the Starshine game, or maybe even more tracks or courses or events. If you look at something like Mario Kart Tour, that definitely is a game that has so many updates. Now we can all admit that that's a free game and Nintendo wants microtransactions. But besides that, you can definitely see some of those things be added to Mario Kart World, because that would give the game a massive reputation, a massive bump into the game's edge. So technically, you can just assign a whole 24/7 team on that game, and there you go. You could consider to see more and more and more updates. This would definitely make the game even greater, because if you look at other games in the past, now of course, we can't look at AAA games versus indie games, but seeing as indie games keep getting updates and more updates and more updates, instead of DLC, it's pretty much free updates. This could be what Mario Kart World is doing, but like a little downsized version of that. But I honestly think that there definitely is much more to it, so Nintendo's probably experimenting in what's to come, and then eventually we'll see a whole plateau of a bunch of different things. It could be a free trial, it could be something that you might have to pay, or it might just be free all around. I honestly think that this is great, because Bomb on Blast just showed that it could be done and it works. Because right now you're getting pretty much a surge in players if you like Bomb on Blast. If you stop the game, if you drop the game for a while, jump back in, well there you go. For me, that's exactly what's going on. Because recently I've been sinking my teeth into Minecraft Dungeons Tower. That is honestly one of my favorite genres. Roguelike, where you defeat a whole bunch of people on the floor and then you go and pick a loot item. Overall, that does work out really, really nicely. So, this could definitely bring me back to Mario Kart. Now that we talked pretty much everything Mario Kart World, what could this DLC add? Now, there's definitely a lot of things if we get a new DLC, which I think is probably pointing into that direction. Now, this new DLC could definitely add a lot of game modes, and one in particular that I want to see is some limited time game modes, kind of like Prop Hunt or something like that. Because I honestly think that Prop Hunt would be a really cool thing in a Mario Kart game. Because Mario Kart World, having 24 players on the racing field at once is really cool, but all you would need to do is technically take the party modes, Party Mode Island, and then boom, all of a sudden you can play Prop Hunt. Like, let's just say you're in Moo Meadows, you could become a bench, or you could become a cow, or you could become something. That would be really interesting. If you wanted to, you could become a little water droplet. I feel like that would be a little overpowered, or maybe a mystery cube that gives you an item. But honestly, this would really work out, and then the person that's hunting you could be a bullet bale or a chain chop or something, so it makes you faster. So if you see the prop, well then guess what, you're going to be able to chase them much easier than the prop to run away from you, or should we say drive away from you in that case. Then we could also maybe see something like new maps or new worlds. Now, this game does have a lot of new racing tracks, but it definitely isn't as much as you would expect. Now, honestly, I thought that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe did it pretty well, where you were able to have one island that was just for the base game and the other one was pretty much for the DLC. So let's just say that we get a DLC kind of like that just adds a whole bunch of tracks. So you'd probably see instead of, 32, you get 64 different tracks. Which, hey, that would definitely work out really great, and it could be some remix. Because honestly, the remix music in this game is honestly awesome. And it kind of makes you wonder, why is this not on Nintendo Music? Because this would be the best thing ever. Because right now, you listen to the music and you're like doing the boogie, you're doing the partying, woohoo! It's so awesome. But overall, I think that this is really awesome. I would love to see a bunch of different DLC. Honestly think, Mario Kart Tour, I've said it before and I'm saying it again. Mario Kart Tour has so many things that I would love to see implemented in Mario Kart World. Like some secret game modes or some secret unique skins that you can only get during a special event. Then it would make every single character feel different, feel unique. Well, technically if they added new skins, I would probably only use Yoshi. Unless they added some sort of golden Yoshi that it was a limited time thing. That would definitely be really awesome. Instead of making you pay for it, you would just play the game. Because then it would honestly convince people to buy a Nintendo Switch 2. Right now, I wouldn't consider Mario Kart World as a system seller anymore. Now that it's out, now that everybody that looks at this game is like, okay, you probably either bought it if you want the game, or if you don't want the game, there's probably not enough content to be added. If they add more content, that would definitely add a lot to the game. Like honestly, limited time modes that you play this and then you get rewarded. Maybe you get rewarded with star shines that you can use to buy things in the Mario Kart shop. Like instead of actually being a shop in the menu, you would have to drive in the open world to get it. Maybe inside the open world, there could be other things to actually do. Because right now, the collectibles, you can do them. There's fun little challenges. They're cool. But it's not really anything else to do in the open world. What if you made the open world a whole shop system where you go over there and there you go. And to go and reach the different maps instead of in the menu, you can just drive on over to the cruise ship and there you go and unlock something. Or you can add a whole new story mode where you start as base car with nothing, no boosters, you're super slow, and then you move up the ranks and you become a professional Mario Kart racer. Honestly, this would work so well. But overall, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that Mario Kart World deserves a second chance with DLC upgrades and so much more? Or do you think nothing's happening? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on the channel. Thank you so much. See you in the next one. Woo!